Let me turn this up a little bit. You blind me. Well, we're live, Gerry. All right.
Hey, we're live.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. It's Sunday. Let's see, January 2nd. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Yes.
What'd you do, Gerry? Did you stay up or did you fall asleep on Friday?
No, we stayed up and just listened to the barrage of gunfire, fireworks, and everything else.
Gunfire?
Oh, we live in a big city. There's gunfire everywhere.
Really? Well, hopefully they're not shooting straight up, huh?
I'm sure they are.
Well, the market is open tomorrow, so hopefully everybody had a great New Year's. Market's up right now. It's actually up pretty good, actually, believe it or not. And then crapto is up as well. It's up almost 3%. So congratulations to the crypto traders here. I'm going to go through my numbers. Gerry's going to go through his numbers. Unfortunately, I've already reset my spreadsheet and all that and kind of renamed that tab and stuff. And so I don't really have a lot of the numbers. I kind of know some of them off the top of my head, but I'll get to the important numbers. I did finish out Cobra Kai last night, Gerry. So I was like really thinking, I'm like, how are they going to, are they going to, is this the last of the series, I'm like, how are they going to roll another season into this, And sure enough, they were able to, I don't want to do a lot of spoilers, but they were able to roll another season out of it, so.
Oh, nice.
And it definitely didn't go how I thought it was going to go. So
one of these days, maybe I'll start watching TV again. Maybe when I get into the RV.
RV, yeah. We have a poll up. So right now do you think the Fed starts raising interest rates before June 1st, 2022? 24 votes so far, so make sure you get your vote in there. We'll check it around 8 o'clock Mountain Pacific time. Mountain time. We'll check around 7 o'clock Gerry time. Got a lot of fine folks in here. We'll get to all these fine folks here in a second. We'll kind of let some people file in. There's 20 odd people in here right now. Right now, Gerry. I think there might be a football game going on right now, if I'm not mistaken either.
There should be.
There should be.
Next week is the last week of the regular season of NFL.
All right, got another month of football, and then that shit'll be done. So yeah, Gerry, let's see here. Let's see, where is my, okay, so let me go through my numbers here. We'll let Gerry go through his, and then we'll kind of get on to the topics of 2022 and all that, and get to the fine folks that are sitting in here waiting patiently. And of course, your wife's not waiting patiently, but so my week was actually pretty good. I think I took $1,100 off in premium, if I wasn't mistaken. And that was just to kind of clean up some BS that was kind of left over in there and go to straight TQQQ. I like calling it TQs. Chucky Chill called it TQs. I like calling it TQs, Gerry. And then I got the crappy ass Direxion TNA in there as well, which I'll probably end up dumping at some point. So as it sits, I ended December at minus 4,290. That's a pretty good comeback from that $7,400 loss on Baby. So that did help me tax-wise significantly. For anybody that's new here, go ahead and watch last week's stream where I talk about the reason why I even took the loss to begin with. I still ended the year up $43,000 in this account. And I did some options in other accounts too, but just in this account here, $43,000. I looked at the numbers last night out of Interactive Brokers, almost right on the dot, 21% up for the year. So, I know you're going to go through your numbers too. And some people, I don't know if there's anybody really in here that will say it, but some people will probably bring it up. Oh, you underperformed the market. It ended at 28%. You ended only at 21. But, there's less risk, I think, doing what I'm doing. I'm accounting for a lot of stocks and or index funds or ETFs going down maybe 15 to 20%, 10% in some cases, right? So I feel like I'm not fully exposed, right? So if the tide goes in, I'm not sitting there completely naked, is the way I look at it. So 21%, and I still had $43,000 of income, not feeling like I'm totally exposed to the market. 21%, I'll take it all damn day long, right? I think next year I'll be even shooting for a lower number than that. I'll be hiking the Appalachian Trail, kind of trying to put it on auto and just really not kind of rules based, I guess, my own rules, but just not really have to think about it. All right. Okay. So right now, as it sits, I have 7 open positions. I need to run the script. Let's go here. Let's go here. We'll let's see here. Oops. So $122,000 of notional, nominal, and notational value, Gerry. How do you like that one?
That works. Cover all the bases.
Cover all the bases. Let's see here. Get IB. Okay, so cat deck. We had, what was it, 31st on Friday? Yeah. All right, so we have 7 positions open, 12 contracts total, 30,000 maintenance margin cooking, 10% buying power used, $3,450 of short premium on, and like I said, 122,000 of notional value there. So literally, I just have, let me see, four TQQQ. Damn, that's hard to say. 4 TQs strikes. Okay, so I got 2 115s. I got 2 120s. I have 2 130s. I have 2 125s. Those are 49 days out. I have 155 TNA. I got 160 TNA. I have 265 TNAs. And I don't know whether or not I'm going to be doing TNAs in the future. I really need to check out the URTYs because they're a little bit better ETF than TNAs. So I think that runs through everything, unless I left something out, which I don't think I did. 49 days out. Yep, I think I did it all, Gerry. So go ahead and give me a break. I'm talking because I recorded a lot of videos today and yesterday and for the other channel. So I'm talked out. So go ahead and take it away, Gerry.
Yeah, I did too. I recorded about 4 videos this weekend.
Jeez.
And I've got a lot more to go. But I ended December. What did I end December with? Well, shoot, I don't know what I did end December with. I don't have that number. But I ended last week with I closed out $564.86. I did open 1,900 of new premium. I have 3,800 of premium cooking, 15.5% buying power used, 19,000 in maintenance margin. I do have the number for December. Let me look at it real quick. It is December ended with a total profit $1,373.67. That was taking some tax loss harvesting as well. It took about $1,200 of losses in the month of December. I too am going to be like Dave and kind of simplify things a little bit more. I'll have a little bit more of an update on that next week in my next net worth update video. I need to ramp up the income just a little bit. I've been running, 15, 20% buying power, and I really need to get up there into the 30, I'd say 30%. For the year, I'm proud to say that I beat Dave by 1%, so about 22% overall. That included that January that I got my ass handed to me. And so it ended up being right around $27,000 of realized income for 2021. and looking to increase that. My goal is 36,000, and we'll see how that works out. But yeah, overall, good month, good year, and looking forward to 2022.
Oh, yeah, thanks for that. The couple questions, of course, that already escaped my mind, but so 36,000 next year. And Jerry and I were talking last night about this, how crazy it was when we first started in 2021. Our account, like my account was half the size it is now. Now I deposit a lot more cash in there. And we were making like double the amount of money with half the account size, which is kind of crazy. Nothing's really changed in the markets really. Now, granted, through maybe the middle of the next year, middle of this year, last year, I guess now, obviously premium dried up a little bit and stuff, but we were just running 40 and 50% buying power used back then,
I,
and now
I was
we
up
got our
there.
ass handed to us a few times or whatever. So we adjusted and stuff. I didn't really get my ass handed to me really, but I just hearing everybody else, I guess, Stock Ninja, Gerry, Matt, and stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pare my stuff back now. So, who is it? Was it Buffett that said that? Learn from other people's mistakes or something.
Absolutely. I mean, I was sitting there at the back in those early times. I was sitting at 65, 70% buying power used, and it was, yeah. You want to know why I got my ass handed to me? Yeah.
Part of the reason why is because we didn't. I I kind of probably knew, but maybe not really to the extent of how really bad it could be. I don't know. We really didn't know what that meant. Buying
Right.
power used. It's like, oh, give me more money. Like it's just, I was just being more conservative just because that's just my nature in general, I guess. So that $36,000 you want to make next year, $3,000. This is the other thing that's coming to my mind now. Are you going to put on, say, $4,000 in premium to make the three? Or, I mean, have you kind of navigated that yet, or how are you going to do that?
I kind of thought about it. Um, it really depends on how, if what your profit target is, right? I mean, if you're going to take stuff off at 50%, you need to have $6,000 cooking at all times, right? Or at least monthly. And so it really is going to depend, because I mean, $5,000, you're looking at, what is that? Math here, Dave. What is it?
Five thousand.
$5,000 would be about 65% profit or something like that, somewhere in there. I'm probably jacking that up off the top of my head, but I'll probably need close to $6,000 cooking every month.
So anybody who's not aware, my plan basically is mostly TQs. Maybe I'll throw a couple TNAs in there. Have roughly 3,500 cooking. Maybe I'll even bump it to four. I don't know. Depends on how I don't know how the AT is going to work. How much I should have internet at least probably daily, if not every couple of days. I'm fine. I just I lowered it down to 20. Let me see. I think 24,000, but I think I can squeak out more than that pretty darn easily,
I
and
would
being
say,
super pass with it.
I would say
My
that.
plan was to do 45 DTEs, right? Take them off or play it by ear, really. Take them off after 30 days, which leaves 2 weeks left. Throw out a whole new set out 45 days, which should bring it to the main expiry for every single month,
Yeah.
right? So that's the plan. Now to deal with the in-between expiries, which are crappy, and you just don't know when they're going to pop up next. I might let those, instead of taking them off every 30 days, I might let them run for an extra week, depending on what the market's doing, and
Yeah.
just run double the amount. My account can handle it. 122,008 notional nominal
Nominal.
value, Gerry. I can average down 2 to 3 times
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
even busting the seams of my account. So that's my plan there. I'll let
Yeah.
everybody know how it works because every time I've tried stuff like this, I find a new thing that just doesn't work right or how I thought it was going to work. So, you got any comments on that, Gerry? Before I
Yeah.
go through some
I,
folks
I think
here.
I think I'm going to be following something similar to that. Like, I'm testing out TNA right now, and I put on 3 last week. I think it was a 65. What was it? A 65, a 55, and a 45. And I only put on 1 set. So I'm gonna see how that works. I put on a QDL, put on a SOXL. So I may just probably diversify among the ETFs. Unlike you, that's going to just do pretty much one. But I'm also going to probably do the things that I enjoy as far as single stocks as well. So that'll help. So I think it'll work out.
So you're gonna stick with the 45 DT number, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 45. Yeah, for sure. And I got to look at what you're talking about there is looking at them at 30 days out and putting the new set on. That's interesting. I'll probably have to look at that.
Yeah, well, the set I have on right now was out like 52 days because I was trying to get to that next expiry. So right now we're sitting at 49, so that's long beyond the 45 still. But yeah, I'll let these big. I mean, I have to say, it's boring. I'm just letting everybody know it's boring. Like you're sitting there looking at the market, there's nothing to do. Twiddle your thumbs, but it's all about being.
But to your point, but to your point on the beating the market, I agree with you 100%. There's no way I could have been in the market 100% and been comfortable. I wouldn't be able to sleep at all. I mean, even with the volatility of the options, the level of exposure, I think, is definitely different. Even though with us, we do swing a little bit more than what the market does. But even with that, I was able to sleep a lot better because we aren't 100% locked into an index fund, right? It's just not that type. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night being that way.
Yeah, so I mean it's an important thing to know, because a lot of people will probably chop us up about that, 21%, 22%. Why don't you just be in a VU or a VTI, and I had somebody in the comments on my last video that I put out on Saturday, it's all about the overall returns. And I agree with that, but it also depends on where you're at in your journey too. You might want to be more about capital preservation than the overall return. I don't care about beating the market. I don't care about even coming close to the market, but I do care about beating inflation, taking my income off, and preferably, have some capital appreciation, right? I mean, I do want that, but it's not all about that for me, right? I want to grow, but I want to have capital appreciation, but I want to have capital preservation is what I really guess meant to say. But anyways,
there's a balance there for sure.
All right. Good evening. All good. Let's see here. Yep. Good evening. Happy New Year's. Got Gerry. We got good old trusty Gerry here. It's evening, Gerry. Happy New Year. We got Zach. We got a question here. Let's see here. Dave, I think you used Schwab for some options. Do you know why I wouldn't be approved for buying puts, calls, and only selling covered/cash secured? Is it not enough money in the account? What options level do you have in your Schwab account? If it's a retirement account, you probably have like level 2, if depending on the retirement account. They might give you level 0 if it's a certain type of account. Let me see. For buying, yeah, you gotta have to tell me what options level you have in there. For buying puts and calls, that's odd.
Huh. Yeah, that is odd. Like
that's like the opposite of what you think.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, is it a retirement account? Because maybe you're trying to buy it on margin or something. I mean, is the account fully invested or what? Yeah, give me a little more information there. Not enough money. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to, give us some more information. You see, we got former President Raymond Huffman. Good morning, everyone. Just minutes from getting out of quarantine. Is it really? Do they really? Does it come down to seconds and minutes? Did you self quarantine, or are you in like some sort of, isolation or something like that? Solitary confinement.
Like, didn't he go to the Philippines? Is that what it was?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Is
Yeah,
it if you
maybe.
went to the Philippines, like do they have like a spot for you, or do you just self quarantine somewhere and you just check in, or how does that work? They get you an ankle monitor. What do they do?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I'm just minutes from getting out of. I mean, come on, seriously? How long is it there too? Because they lowered it here to 5 days.
Mhm.
Not based on science. They were trying to they were trying to walk the line between what people would be acceptable with or accept what people would be okay with versus it's like, oh my gosh. Don't get me started, Jerry. We got CMFW. What's going on? Hi, Jerry. What about Dave? Jeez.
Hi, CMFW.
CMFW. Did your portfolio results for 21 meet your expectations? Do you use a benchmark to measure your skills? Are we talking about options? Are we talking about just investing portfolio in general? I mean, what are we talking about here, Stephen? I
I can answer that. Yes, it exceeded my expectations, and I do not use a benchmark at all.
I don't use a benchmark. I actually wanted to have $48,000 this year. I would have been there had I just actually. It kind of was a. It's a little misleading because if I didn't sell the Baba, take the loss on the Baba, I would have been there. But because I did take the loss in Baba, it really didn't really hurt me really because my money is exactly the same. It's just on paper. It's paper gains. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it actually helped me to take the loss because I'm in a high tax bracket this year. Chucky Chill.
Chucky.
Good old Chucky Chill here. Yeah, we had a great conversation on Thursday with Chucky Chill, which pretty much dominated the talking, which was awesome because I hadn't really heard Turkey Chill, Chucky Chill ever talk, and get to hear a lot about his strategy, and he's running a lot of different strategies. Kind of interesting, actually. Short term, long term, hedging, futures, 7 day DTEs, 5 day DTEs, running some spreads and lots of different stuff there. It was kind of cool. So yeah, I appreciate you coming in there, Chucky Chill, and talking and explaining your situation. His situation changed with this job. I'm not going to get in details because I don't know if he wants me to share if anything, but he's pretty much living off of options at this point. So that's kind of cool. Congratulations to you making it survive. And I don't know exactly when you lost your job, but so that's kind of cool. You were able to fall back on this. Jerry's already retired and doing it too. And
I'm in the same boat.
yeah. So happy New Year's to you. Let's all have a good 2022. We got David Hipson. I've talked to David a few times as well. Happy New Year's to you as well, David. Mark Ryan. He's been active too in the Discord. So
Yeah, definitely.
back to work tomorrow for me after being off 2 weeks. I've been off 2 weeks too. I have tomorrow off though, and I'm not looking forward to going back to work already. Even though it's going by super fast. What am I down to? Let's see here. Down to 103 days left, Jerry. 103 days left. Of course, I'll put my 1.5, 2 month notice in the next. I think in February I'm going to put that in. So I'm going to give them a month and a half, 2 months to find somebody new to replace me. I don't want to leave my customer high and dry. It'd be kind of interesting. Hey, I'm going to quit on April 15th, tax day or whatever. Yeah, we're not going to, you're going to have to be gone in 2 weeks. I hope they don't say that, they should be okay. I've been working there for 11 years and I got good rapport or whatever with them. But so, surprised you don't have tomorrow off, actually, Mark. Most people do, I think. Yeah, I checked. I double checked. I do have the day off, so market is open. That's why we're doing it today. We got Rebecca here. Happy New Year's.
Happy New
She's
Year.
got a busy 2022 ahead of her. She talked to in the comments, and she's got a really packed out 2022. She's delaying her trip down to Mexico by 6 months or a year or something like that. So hopefully everything goes well for you in 2022, Rebecca. I know you're retiring really just a few months after I am. And I'll be on the Appalachian Trail pretty much the day you're retiring or so. Yeah, well, congratulations. Let's see here. Jake, we got Jake here from State Farm. Thoughts on DHS? What is DHS, Gerry?
I don't know.
Department of Homeland Security.
Are you talking about Homeland Security, or are you talking about the ETF? If you're talking about the ETF DHS, it's okay. It's kind of just there's definitely better choices out there. It's a wisdom tree ETF, large cap. I think I've done a video on it. It's very low dividend growth rate. I think it's like 4 or 5% dividend growth rate long term. It does pay monthly, so that's probably an appeal. But at 3.2% yield, I think there's definitely better choices out there.
So I'm looking at it right now. It looks like SCHD destroyed it for basically the same dividend yield. I've never dug into DHS before, so I don't really know what the holdings are in there.
I believe
You are
they're
paying
heavy energy, if I remember
energy.
right.
Well, energy had a good 2021. I think that energy will still continue to be good in 2022, but I don't know how long they would want to keep energy in the portfolio as being overweighted. But SCHD definitely had a better year, and I think it's actually a better ETF. Roughly about, I guess the yield's slightly lower, but they also don't pay out monthly. SPHD hunk of crap, but what else do we got here? That's about it. I don't know anything about it, Gerry. So you're the expert on it.
Yeah, I would say if it were me and you wanted yield like that, and you don't mind, they got rid of energy, they rotated out there, so they're heavy in financials and consumer staples. But
That's actually okay because I think interest rates will come up eventually.
it's probably okay. I honestly would prefer something like Devo or Jeppy over it.
Well, yeah, Devo for sure. Yeah, okay. My computer's slow. There's some process that's killing it. So there is a poll out there. Go ahead and get your vote in. And the poll, if I know where the heck, let me see, it's over here. Poll basically: do you think the Fed starts raising interest rates before June 1st, 2022? 52 votes out there. We'll get to that in the next half hour or so. So Jake, thoughts on DHS? Yeah, got it. Wonder what that was. That a 1040 on his screen there?
Oh, might be.
Oh man, Gerry, we got Gerry. What's going on, Gerry? See, we got good evening. I always ask, but I know that January will be wild. What do you think? I think because there was one year in the last 3 or 4 years where as soon as the first trading day of the year hit, we tanked big time. And then it was a tech wreck for like 2 weeks straight or something like that, where tech just sold off 5% or something like that. I think there's going to be people still taking profits. So for me, I was waiting for the new year, and there's some little bit of shuffling I need to do with some stuff. So I'm going to take some profits and shuffle some stuff around. Too much income for 2021. And the last thing I want to do is come up to the $400,000 mark, Gerry, and then because that's the proverbial. What's the word I'm looking for?
Proverbial.
Proverbial line in the sand where they think you're rich. Now a lot of that money was just paper gains too, but it's still realized gains. But what I mean by paper gains is just selling out of one dividend stock and moving something else over here. So it's kind of doesn't. It's not. I mean, it's real gains, but it's kind of paper gains too. So I'll be in a lower tax bracket this year. Obviously, I still got to pay the Obamacare, which is the $200K or more, which probably a lot of folks know about here. I'm subsidizing Gerry's. No, actually, Gerry, I'm not subsidizing you. You're on Medicaid or something, but you're lucky. You're the lucky few.
I'm the lucky one. Yeah. Being in the 0% tax bracket is pretty nice. case.
I'm not. I'm completely agreeing. I mean, I'm going to be paying even this year. When it comes to paying Medicare and all, not Medicare, the ACA, it's still going to be the full amount, $400 a month. And I'm doing a
Actually,
lot of research on healthcare, so I'm learning a lot about it.
yeah. Actually, I won't be. I'll be in. I'll probably be in the 12% for 2021, but 2022, I'll probably be at the 0% tax bracket.
That's because you got a lot of deductions. So he's
Yeah,
got a
and
wife, he's got a kid.
yeah, as far as January, last January is when I got my ass handed to me. So that was on selling naked calls though. So hopefully I correct that this year, this January. And I remember last January, I think the S&P ended flat, if I recall correctly. So
I don't know. I don't expect that 2022 is going to be a bad year for the market. I don't think we're going to get a 30% return, probably not even a 20 really. But I still think that we're going to have a positive year. I think it's going to be pretty good, between 5 and 10%, maybe even up to 15, who knows. They are going to raise interest rates at some point next year, I think, could be next year. A lot of people think it's going to be earlier in the year, but so I don't know about January effect. That's a saying, right? January effect, that's a known thing. I do think that I think that the second half of the year is going to be better than the first, though. That's just my guess. We might go up for the first couple of months. I have a feeling people are probably going to take some profits still by the end by this year, or excuse me, in the first few months. We have, is it earnings? I think earnings start in January, don't they?
yeah, people could be taking earnings. I mean, taking profits to pay their taxes. That's
Uh,
possible.
I'm going to use a bonus to pay for those. Well, the last 10K anyway. What do you think of Jerry? What do you think of Gary for January? Happy New Year. What's going on, Dan? Packers
Dan
versus
the
Vikings.
man.
What's that?
Dan the man.
Dan the man is talking about soccer. Let's see here. Steven, you previously commented about Postle's 25 million purchase of the house. That is fake news. The real estate agent said that Pelosi had nothing to. Yeah, I heard that too. Geez, calling me out here. We talked about that. We said this could be fake news. Whatever. We mentioned it. Even Gerry said the same thing. So don't shoot the messenger here. Other people looked it up when we mentioned it, and I said, Gerry, I heard about this, but I also heard that it could be fake news too. Blah blah blah. And then somebody else even said in the comments, no, it's real. So I don't know. It's probably not, but she is still worth a lot of money. And that was the main point of what I was trying to say, basically. She's worth a boatload of money. And she doesn't make that. I mean, she makes good money, don't get me wrong, but she doesn't make $100 million. She makes, I think it's under 200K a year. So how is she worth so much money? That was the point of the real thing of why I mentioned it, I guess. Not to mention so. All right.
Yeah, definitely. She's definitely involved in insider trading, like most of them are.
Look, she beat Warren Buffett. She got better returns than Warren Buffett does. So, yeah. And she's also trying to squash the fact that senators or whatever are not supposed to. It's not a senator, but whatever. People of Congress are not supposed to trade stocks. She's trying to put that to an end where, not to an end. She wants to be able to trade stocks, basically. Of course she does. And she got rich off of everybody's money in this United States, including Gerry, because you do pay taxes too. Best of luck to everyone with your options play in 2022. I think it's going to be a wild ride. It's my brother from another mother over here. What do we got? A Porsche tack there? Yeah, I agree. I think that's a Porsche tack. I recognize it because I owned a Porsche. So I think it's going to be a wild ride, but that's actually good for options traders. So up and down movement, it's great for us. We're going to make money either way. we might be able to get in. The next day it goes up, you sell it, and the next day it goes down, you get back in. There you go. Not trying to do that, but that's sometimes how it works out, Yeah. All
Sideways
right.
market, we win.
We do. Down market, small down market, we win. Up market, we win. We win every which way but Sunday. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing options in 3 accounts this year. Starting this year, I'm going to be doing options in 3 separate accounts. 1, 2, yeah, just 3. I could do it in 4, but it's too much work. I'm not a James Rowe over here. Can someone explain Palantir? There's a lot of analytics that do the same. But then again, I'm just a AI machine learning engineer and don't know anything. Side note, Cabo has amazing seafood. Palantir, it's going to 0. Let's see. Yeah, I don't, honestly, Matt's probably the person to really talk about that because he uses the software. I've never used it. I don't know what it looks like. Don't know anything about it. Don't care. I do know that it's a real company. It's not like a snowflake out there. They didn't SPAC eyes or anything like that. They've been out for a while. They did a real IPO release and all that. You got to give them a little credit for that, but it also appears to be overvalued too, even though Matt says it's going to Sincipple or something like that in 10 years or whatever. But Gerry, you got any comments to that one?
It's going to hit $30 this year. There you go. Bank it.
I think it could go to 10 before it goes to 30, but I could be wrong. Honestly, if you look at a chart, it looks like it could go to 10 pretty darn easy.
That's just because I own 200 shares.
How far down on it are you?
My cost basis at like $20.
Well, it definitely looks like it's at a crossroads as it sits on the chart right now. $10 is likely, but I don't really care. I don't own any. I don't trade anything with it. I don't do options on it or anything either. So Thumper might be able to talk about it. Thumper's really not a stock analyzer, though, so he's pretty much like us. We don't really care. Matt, Freddie, let's see here. Good evening, Matt, and Gerry. Where's Matt? Who's Matt? You saying good evening to yourself?
You changed your name, Dave?
I didn't. Let me see here. It still says Dave up there. Yeah, I don't know. Good evening, or we'll say Happy New Year to you, Matt, Freddie. We got Pumpkin Man. Good evening, everyone. So it's off season right now for Pumpkin Man.
Yeah, what do you do for the rest of the year?
What do you mean the rest of the year, Gerry? It's a brand new year.
Well, what do you do all year?
He's gonna get ready for the pumpkins in October.
When do you play? Like, see, he never answered that last time. It's like, what's the cycle here? Is it like, do you get new pumpkins every single year? Like, do you have to replant every year?
Yeah, you do.
But do they really get that big in like one season?
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Corn's a one season thing. Let's see here. Smash the like button. Smash that like button if you want. Smash it. Give it some love. Let's see here. What do we got? Retire. Dave's going to say pound. Yeah, of course I was going to say that. That's a coined term. That's a patent pending. I don't think that Palantir is going to 0. I like to do whatever Matt does. I like to do the opposite and kind of just roast him. But he's big on Palantir, and to me, I just don't see it. Kind of like people say that snowflakes. Honestly, the CEO is what made Snowflake, in my opinion. But if it wasn't for that, Snowflake is just another. It's not a snowflake, Gerry. It's Amazon, Google, whatever. They could probably just destroy Snowflake. How much money does Apple have? Apple has $200 million. $200 billion. Sorry, $200 billion on the sidelines right now.
Gosh, that much?
$200 billion. You know how many companies they could buy with that?
They just need to make an iCar.
No, they really don't. I would never buy it. I can tell you right now, I'm not. There's my entire rest of my life, I'm not going to own one Apple product. There's just no reason for me to own it. There's not. I'm just. I love Apple stock. I own Apple stock. I'm up the most in that stock, but I'm never going to own any of their products or buy any of their products. They don't innovate. I'm probably going to piss a bunch of people off of that one, but they don't really innovate. Come on, man. We added 30 megapixels to the new phone. Okay, there's a new phone for you.
They really
They don't really innovate.
We added a charge port here, and then, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I
New
just.
colors.
I'm not stupid. I'm still gonna invest in the stock, but I just don't really care about their products. It doesn't excite me. I don't care. I run Linux on my laptops. I'm not gonna run Linux on a freaking Apple. I got to give them credit with the M1. That was amazing. They should have did that a long time ago. More companies should be doing something like that, right? That's not the first time Apple's done that either. Apple used to be hardware and software specific to themselves, and then they went to the x86 platform, which was smart too in its own way because it's just it allows more flexibility, but at the same time, with them actually having specific hardware for their operating system, it kind of locks them in, but it also they can fine tune the chips specifically for their OS, right? Smart. I think more companies should do it. That's not innovating though. That's not innovation in my opinion. Innovating to me is making something new that changes the world, like the original iPhone, right? That was innovation. I'll give them credit for that, right? Otherwise, I still want a flip phone, but I don't think actually take that back. I think all of the old towers are going away. All the 3G towers are going away eventually in 2023 or by 2023 from all the major carriers, I think. So guess what? You got a flip phone, you're done.
Dang it.
You know what I'm about to go back to, Gerry? Like 2 cans and a string. Palantir software
if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't even need a phone at all.
What do you have to have a phone for YouTube for?
My camera.
Jerry, get it. I'll buy you a camera, Jerry. Jeez, you don't need a camera, a phone for it. Oh man, all you need is you could probably get away with a C920 actually, which is a webcam, but it doesn't work for me on Linux because it's just too choppy. But Dan. Dan, do you use that software? I don't think he uses that software. Hello world. Hello world. What's going on in MDB?
Hello world.
Hello world.
Hello.
So my very first program in C++, or actually just C back then, was Hello World. A lot of the inside jokes of programmers is there's been no original coding since Hello World. That's the original code. After that, everything's just modified off of Hello World. It's kind of inside joke. I bet you retire would understand what I'm saying there. No more trees. Let me see here. No more trees in the backgrounds. Makes me sad. Time to start a new trend. Make faded trees. Yeah, I just picked mine up like this and moved it into the closet, which will go into storage eventually.
My son took mine away, boxed it up.
Your second tree or your first tree?
My second one.
Is the first tree gone too?
First tree's gone too. I need some background something here. This looks like I'm in a insane asylum or something.
You definitely need a new background. You need to put some of those the stumper, things on the wall so they can fall off while we're on the camera.
Yeah. I'd probably push pin them in.
What could you put back there? Maybe you should call JMac up, get some neon lights, or get some tips from him and put some neon lights back there or something.
Possibly.
Put a neon light down near the baseboard, and it'll kind of shine up a little bit, a little ambience back there. See a little ambience back there, right there, Gerry?
I was thinking about it. Yeah, I see that. I was thinking about some lights, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we missed the old setting, Gerry. We had the RV in the background.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll give someone paint a picture of my Bitmoji and put it up on the wall.
Bonsai trees. Yeah, Cobra Kai it's pretty good. I have to say the season 4 is definitely not the best season so far. Um, but it's a pretty good series. And it's good to because all of us grew up. Well, not all of us. A lot of us grew up watching that as a teenager or even younger than a teenager. So it goes back pretty far. It's good. I love when the shows do that, bring back all the original characters. And I don't know, it's cool. Anyways, you probably didn't watch it.
Nope.
What was that? What does this see? Phil, let's see here. Pelosi
Philby.
made moves this week. We should copy her and see if we get rich, or is she playing us? What did she do? What kind of moves did she make?
I saw that she bought some like in the money.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that.
Like 9 months out on Google, like deep in the money.
I do think that 2022 is Amazon's year. They've been trading sideways almost all of 2021. This is the year for Amazon. So I actually thought about buying some over in the Schoolie fund account in M1, selling out of something that's in there, buying some Amazon or whatever. I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, they banned the Pelosi Tracker Twitter account. Why? Did the new CEO do it, or did Jack Dorsey do it? Got paid off, Gerry.
Absolutely.
The fact that this was banned goes to show how rigged it is. No doubt. The monetary system is rigged big time in this country. Anybody that thinks it's not, I don't know how you could possibly say that and straight face to yourself. This is a majorly, but that's not to say that the gold standard was any better. It was messed. It's not. The problem with the gold standard is it was too small to encompass the whole world, market cap wise. That's the problem with the gold standard. So it could be manipulated by countries. That was the issue with the gold standard. It couldn't be. In general, the fiat currency is no better. It's just different, right? It's more controlled by the government, Gerry. But I'm proof, I guess, that you can still make it under a W-2 job, right? In general, the W-2 job is the worst because they tax you the most. It's just, if you're not a cog in the system, we talked about this the other day, being a machine in the system or being a machine in the wheel. You gotta feed the system. We gotta have sheep out there to feed the system so we can fire, right? If everybody fired, we'd all freaking go broke. We'd all have to be eating beans and rice and
the country
probably
would collapse.
barter freaking silver and gold and brass.
Yep, the country would collapse. So you gotta have the worker bees.
Yeah, because people talk about that all the time in school. Like, oh, why doesn't high school teach you, how not to be a sheep and all that? Well, we need whacker bees, Gerry. We need worker bees, Gerry. And luckily, we never have to worry about that because there's people out there that just don't have the devotion, the dedication, the discipline to save and invest and get out of the system, right? But everybody here is smart enough to know that everybody in the chat here they're all smart enough to know that they're being taken by that W-2 system. But you can, how many people villainize rich people all the time, Can't beat them, join them. That's always been my saying, right? People sit up there, oh, this guy's rich, but why don't you just join them? There you go, done. It's easier to do that than sit there and be a victim the whole life. Dividend Drip, renamed your channel back from Travel Drip.
Travel Drip, Dividend Drip.
Crooked ass MFers. They're all crooked. Every one of those guys and everyone in the Congress is crooked. Rubio, Cruz, every one of them are crooked. How can Rubio be a multi-millionaire, and this is back when he ran for president in 2016, multi-millionaire, and he, was using federal funds to get this done and get that done and stuff. That's our money. That's our money, folks. Jake with State Farm. SPXL. Yeah, I'm okay with that one. Let's see here. That's the Pro Shares. I like Pro Shares. Pro Shares is a lot better than the Direxion.
I was looking at that one. It might be a little low volume though, but
Oh yeah, of course. Just because it's SP 500. Dow's probably even worse than that. 98% it was up this year though. Can't deny that, Gerry. You always want to outperform the market. Just get into triple leverage. There you go. You always outperform the market.
In both ways.
Both ways. Yeah, exactly. Pelosi is an options trading wizard. I didn't know she actually did options. I know recently we talked about it, but I know she's doing them now. But didn't she just have her husband do everything for her? Probably. She can just be once removed. I'm not doing it.
She's got people doing things, and there's always backdoor deals with these freaking politicians.
Okay, so this is a good one for us here. Dave, I have concerns about your TQs options. I agree that premium is very good, but look at what happened when the market crashed in 2020. It went from 53 to 7. Yeah, it was a 37% decline. I'm okay with that, though, because I want to buy the Qs down anyway, right? That's my theory. Look, the count's third of used. What I'm in right now, I'm third used. 1/3 used, Gerry.
33%.
Yeah, roughly. So January 12th, they're splitting 2 for 1. So that'll cut the value down, which kind of sucks for me because that just means I'll be paying more commissions for the same damn thing. I'm not worried about that though, there, MDB. I'm down. I roughly go down in probably 30 to 35% in the TQs, which is roughly about 11% down move in the Qs, right? It gives me room enough to add another set on if I want, right? I don't think that we're going to have a 30, 40, 50% decline anytime soon. I'm not worried about it. If I was doing the Qs, what's the difference? It drops the same, right? You got to think about it. If I had the Qs on, it's a lot more notional value. It's over $300,000 to have the same amount of premium on, so I'm more exposed, right? So I'm okay with this trade-off here, I guess is the way to put it. Gerry might be able to put it in better words.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but there is March 2020 was a very quick drop, a very quick recovery. Now, what happens in a longer continued drop, though? Like, what if it never V-shaped?
Well, it depends. Do I get assigned in this 45 days or not?
Right.
Markets don't go straight down. Yeah, they might take the elevator down and the stairs up. Yeah, that's pretty known. That's pretty much what it always does. But it's not going to go down just boom, down 50% and never come back. And it's not going to do 50% in a 2-week span or a 3-week span, probably, most likely. Maybe in the next 5 to 7 years, but I don't think it's going to happen this year or next year or whatever. I might change my strategy next year. I don't know.
So let's look at it real quick. What did it went from 53 to 17, which we know, but let's take a look here. So that was February 20th, roughly at the high, and it went down to roughly March 20th. So in 30 days, it went from 53 to 17, and then it took another 4 months to get back even. So do you think you'd have this? You think it would if we had that another drop like that, you think it would act pretty much the same way?
I don't know. Time will tell. Unless I'm missing something here, TQQ could get liquidated and would be get. What do you mean by liquidated? People selling the market? What do you mean there? If a bear market persists,
Well, the TQQ can only get liquidated. It would have to drop 33% in a single day. That's the Qs,
makes
not the
sense.
TQQQ.
You mean the market itself?
The market itself would have to drop 33.33% in a single day.
Never happened. We got circuit breakers.
Yeah.
Never happened. I don't necessarily agree with the circuit breakers, but in this case here, it works in my favor. But I think that the market should be allowed to do what it needs to do. That's kind of just my beliefs. If a bear market persists, if a bear market persists, I've been talking a lot today. So I've been making a lot of videos. If the bear market persists, that will hurt me. It just depends on how fast it happens too, right? I'm 45 days out. If I get a sign, it continues to go down. Now the markets don't normally do that. We could have a 1 year 1 year bear market, but it's still going to be up. It's going to be down. It's still going to be up. Still going to be down.
And
I don't understand.
If you're only using 30% of your portfolio, you can average down once.
Sell cover calls.
I bet you can average down once and make some really good money selling calls.
The thing is, the market drops 30%. I'd be buying TQQQ all day long. In other accounts, I'd be trying to hands over fist get into it. I probably wouldn't, dump entire net worth into it. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but that's where I'd want to be. Love testing out TNA. TNA, Gerry. Let's see here. Qs, on the other hand, is less appealing for options trading, but safer in the market crash. If the market crashes, to me, it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same as long as you treat them the same. If you're gonna go out and give yourself a 10% safety net on QQQ, you'd have to give yourself a 30% safety net on TQQQ
or more, because they don't track. The deltas aren't exact, right? We talked about that on Thursday. Could go down even more. I'm going to agree with MDB here, saying that in general the Qs are going to be safer for a few reasons, but I don't think those reasons will trump me to not do it. I'm at 12 holdings total for 2022 and super excited about it. Yeah, you've been excited for 2 days? Just kidding. 12 holdings. What do you got? Let's see here. I know a lot of stuff he's in. I don't know that he had 12 positions though. I roasted dividend. Was it not dividend? Darth dividend. He's all complaining on Twitter about why they didn't have XYG on there on M1 Finance. I'm like, oh yeah, they do. You just get into XYD and in VU, 50% each. What do you mean they don't have it on there?
It's there, and it's cheaper.
Yeah. Sven, what's going on, Sven? Risk is relative. I'm 100% happy with 100% of my net worth being an index fund. Feel safer owning a little bit of 500 biggest companies versus one house in one city, for example. I would probably agree with that.
But
everybody knows my thoughts on rental property. It can make you rich. Don't get me wrong. Like the leverage factor of property is amazing. You have technically almost the same ability to do that with stocks as well, but nobody really does. You shouldn't be doing it. It's not really, unless you have portfolio margin turned on, but you don't really have that 5-to-1, right? You have 4-to-1. And doing that in stocks is a lot more riskier. So I get that. You see my video on it, stocks versus rentals, but Yeah, one house versus 500 biggest companies. I'm in agreement there. Dave and Jerry, I just broke 500 subs not long ago. Question: what are each of your financial goals for 2022?
500
Others who made
subs.
it?
Dan.
Yeah. Go check out Dan's channel there. He's trying to get monetized, he's trying to get to 1,000 subs. And he does a lot of stock wars videos, which compares like Raytheon to Lockheed Martin or Target to Walmart and T versus Verizon and stuff like that. Check it out. Dan, you can poke your channel in there if you want. What are each of your financial goals? I don't know. I don't really have any goals. My goal is to get the freaking out of Dodge, go on the trail and have fun. That's my goal. I don't really have any financial goals this year. Well, I take that back. My goal is to hit the 2 million before I retire, but which I'm only, let's see, how far am I away? I'm 97.3% there, so I'm 54K away from hitting the 2 million mark. So I'm there. You know, I, yeah, that's probably my only goal, but that's just a superficial number to hit. It really doesn't matter, right? Jerry, what about you? You got any goals?
Support my family for 2022. That's really it.
You've been doing that on your own for the last decade, Jerry.
Yeah, but I no longer have a guaranteed. Well, I haven't had a guaranteed income in decades.
No,
So I
exactly.
don't
You've been
know.
retired for 10 years.
I mean, it's just different now. It's just different now. So 3,000 a month. That's my goal.
Well, I know another person's been retired for a decade, and that's dividend drip.
Yeah.
So yeah, my options goals 24 to 36,000. That's my options goals for 2022, and it's gonna be super passive too. Former President Raymond Huffman. I'm in the Philippines. I'm in a quarantine hotel. Went directly from airport, not allowed to leave or anything. 5 days of quarantine, at least to have a great Bayside. Yeah, that's cool. Manila,
That's
huh?
crazy.
Is it
They
a
have
full service
actual.
hotel or what?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, do they just bring you food every day, like 3 times a day, or what do
Yeah,
they
happy
do?
endings, all that stuff there. Or what? Massage?
Quarantine hotel.
Is it supposed to be like a punishment when you get there, or is it more lavish than that?
Yeah, like is it the Hilton or is it like or is it like the Motel 6?
How did they get you? Was it a self-driving car that got you from the hotel to from the airport to the hotel? Or was the hotel in the airport,
Or was it a motorbike?
or was it a toot-toot,
Tuk tuk
toot-toot,
tuk tuk.
toots-toots, or was it somebody in a complete full hazmat suit? Oh man, Manila, huh? I want to check out Cebu. I want to go check out Cebu, Jerry. You and
Cebu?
your wife are going to come over and spend time over there on the beach.
Probably.
Did either of you sell deep in the money leap credit spreads to take cash now and use the money for investing? Um, no, that's not something I would do. But what we have talked about possibly doing is selling leap puts way out. Obviously leaps means way out, I guess, but we had talked about doing that on various stocks. Oh, just collect your 30 or 40 grand for the year right there, right? You're actually shorting yourself, but um, credit spreads. No, I wouldn't be doing at the money. He's talking about deep in the
He
money.
said deep in the money, but
Yeah. No, that's just too risky. That's risky for me. I wouldn't be doing that. And what are you going to do the rest of the year?
I do look at them every once in a while. Like I'll look at a Tesla 1 year put, and it's like, "Ooh, man, I can collect 30 grand right there."
down the lowest strike you can go.
Well, it ain't that much, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't think I'd do it though.
There's definitely some funny games you could play though. Do that basically, and then you can invest in like Devo or Jeppy or something, the money, because the money shows up in your account and you can invest that money into dividend stocks.
Yeah.
So there's some funny things you could do there. If somebody has 100 grand or 200 grand or whatever, they can play some funny games there to get quite a bit of income.
Interesting. Maybe I'll look at that.
Gerry's always trying to find some shortcut. I'm not even allowed to leave the room. It would be funny if they put like this clock on the wall. It's like a countdown or something.
So it's like military
5 days
controlled
and
or what?
what's that?
Is it like military controlled and secured?
I don't know. Did they lock the door? They
Philippines,
lock the door from the outside. You can't even unlock it and get out.
Philippines is pretty ruthless, man. It really is.
What if there's a fire or something? No, you got to stand. Jeez, we just had 1,000 homes burnt through freaking Boulder area. Jeez, I mean that day that the fire broke out, it was windy here, super windy. Like I don't think we had all last year a day that had been windy. But yeah, that's I don't know if that was arson or what. Start doing your homework in 2022. Metaverse is the word, going to be huge, Gerry. Huge.
Huge.
Why would it be huge? Why would it be huge in 2022 and not just what's different? I do think that Facebook could have a good year in 2022 because it really didn't do much in 2021. But Amazon, I think Amazon's where it's at.
I do own the Meta ETF.
Not related.
A little bit of it.
And I can assign homework as I am a professor in college teaching accounting and finance. Do you teach them to be a sheep or a wolf, Gerry? Yeah, accounting and finance. I think that's a good one. I wonder what do you teach there though? Is it stocks? Is it, how to trade stocks? Or is it more like how to balance a checkbook type of stuff?
Yeah, because this is college, so I would think it would be like way more advanced than balancing a checkbook.
Who balances a checkbook anymore?
Yeah, I've stopped doing that, but
I think my mom still does. I'm like, I don't balance a checkbook. I haven't written a check in years. I still have checks, but I haven't written a check in years. They're gone. They're long gone. The people that write checks now, the people that can't technically, that have no money to cash them. So yeah, don't cash this for 5 days. That's the people that write the check. But they do clear a lot faster now.
they
You literally have about 1 day.
Yeah, they can clear in a day.
Why am I always at the airport when Dave and GE? What's GE?
General Electric, baby.
W, I guess W is next to E.
You're Matt, so I'll be GE.
Yeah, you're JE. How about that?
There you go.
Darn, Matt, we wanted to hear about your Palantir experience. Let's see here. Grinding retire. What up, boys? Dave, did you burn your Charlie Brown tree? No, it's not a fake tree. It's plastic, so I reuse it every year. Gerry, you controlling those?
Yeah, I was trying to see if I can block or delete.
Is that one of those? Oh, you have no access to do it?
No.
You can't. Well, you can't do it from here. You got to do it from the actual from the live stream. But yeah,
that's where I'm at. I'm in the studio.
No, not there.
Oh,
well, I don't have access to do it here either. You got to do it actually from the actual chat itself.
Oh,
so we got 79 votes. It's 8-10. Let's get to the poll. And I'm actually trying to scroll down here to find those people so I can block them.
Leave
What
it
I'm
alone for
actually
a minute. I'm going to try.
you're not a mod on my channel though, Gerry.
Oh, nice.
What's that? I thought it's Vum. So 79 votes. Get your vote in. Let's see here. Do you think the Fed starts raising interest rates before June 1st, 2022? We got 73% of the vote said yes. That's surprising.
Yeah, I voted no.
I didn't vote yet. Let me vote. How do you vote? Maybe I can't vote. I guess it doesn't let me vote. I can't vote on my own darn my own thing, Gerry.
You're not dead.
27% no. I'm surprised. If the market tanks, they're going to push it off. That's my guess. But yeah, no, that's cool. That's definitely goes against what I thought people would say. So that's the kind of the first time that something bursted my bubble.
Well, they did say they were going to do what, three
Possibly,
increases?
possibly, yeah. They're probably not
So,
going to be doing anything beyond a 0.25 change at
right.
one time.
So if they said they're doing three, I mean, the chances are that it would be yes.
That's not going to wreck the market either. Just that one raise or whatever. It might shock the market. It might shock the market because that's the first one. But why would I think Josh Brown even talked about it last week, matter of fact, on CNBC. Why would the Fed try to purposely invert the yield curve, right? It's kind of shooting themselves in the foot. They need to raise rates up so they have more power next time something goes to hell in a handbasket, right? Right now, if the market went to hell, we'd be all screwed. They can't lower the rates. Not that they do much anyway, but they'd have to drop more helicopter money, Gerry. So yeah, when it's not highlighted, you have the option to click on the three buttons. Do you see that?
No, I
That
don't.
you don't have the three little buttons there next to the star?
Not on the studio.
No?
Nope.
Okay, I'll block this person. Later. Oh, somebody else must have already done it because it's not letting me do it. All right, I'll say, am I late to the party? Yes, you are. Just by 30 minutes, according to your timestamp here. Pelosi bought 1 million. Well, good. Happy New Year's. Let's see here. Pelosi bought $1 million or more of 2,000 calls on Google. They expire September 2022. What do you think? $1 million is pocket change for her.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a lot of freaking money in calls, though.
that's a lot of money in calls. She knows something.
Yeah, she probably does. I probably would say that following her, whatever she does, you probably do fine because she knows more information than we do. That's insider trading. But the government's okay with. They can get away with insider trading. They can get away with Ponzi schemes. It's all legal for them to do that. Heaven
Yeah, they're
forbid.
exempt. They're usually exempt from most laws and things of that nature.
You're right. They can murder people too. Hillary Clinton. Let's see here. Palantir is actually like Snowflake. I just said it's not a snowflake, which means it's just they're not the only company doing it. Is really what I meant by it. But yeah, so Steve does use the software, so he knows. I don't know if I should call him Steve because I don't know if he's ever made that known, but
No, he's
Matt
just
calls him Steve.
monster.
What's that?
He's just monster.
Yeah, Monster Energy. But Matt calls him Steve, so maybe his name's Steve. See, Palantir is actually like Snowflake. So he does use the software. He knows about it a little bit more than I do. I want to say the last time you've come around, you said that you don't even like the software. So there you go. Game 808. What's that, Gerry?
Why is he
Is that a
crying?
crying? It's
Yeah.
crying?
What's the matter, man? You okay?
There's no crying in bait and stock trading. No, there's no crying in options trading. Yun Yun. Yu
Yuya.
Yun. Happy New
Yuya.
Year. Happy New Year to you as
Happy New
well.
Year.
Vic,
Vic?
what's going on, Vic? Yeah, I know he must have renamed his name. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year to you as well, Vic. All good, Prince. She does. Monster Prince. Sven. Anyone see the rumor video on the Tesla phone? Tesla phone? Wait, that's not the first time we've heard of that, huh, Gerry?
No, it's not. It's not. And we talked about it before. You're not going to see Ford F-150 drivers using a Tesla phone.
No. Nor are you going to see Tesla people buying an F-150.
Right. So I saw a wonderful car review on Tesla this weekend, but that's all I saw.
Lots of farting in it. Yeah, lots of farting.
The car literally, you can set the car to literally fart when you turn the turn signal on.
Yeah, stupid La Cucaracha freaking horn. And I'm like, oh my God. Like this guy, it was a 50-minute roast pretty much is what it was. This guy
It was
roasted it for
great
50
though. I mean, he wasn't wrong about anything.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. 4,500 pounds that thing weighs, Gerry. That's heavy. That's heavy. That's a heavy. Yeah. What's it? Was it Deuce Bigelow? That's a big bit. No, is it say big bitch? Is that what he said?
I think that's what it's Deuce Bigelow.
That's a heavy bitch. Oh man. Dividend drip. Yes. Innovate me, Dave. Invite me. Innovate or invite. I'll use Tesla phones when Starlink is fully up and functional. Why would you use a Tesla phone? That thing's probably not going to be cheap either. Let's see here. Dave, I knew. Let's see here. Dave, I knew people who would hike the PCT and find out when the music festival and dates. They almost always let you in for free. I'm not going. I'm not a partier. Well, wait, what? Here I am. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm not going to be on the PCT. But that said, there's more parties probably along the AT anyway. If there's some hairy hippie girls on the 18, maybe I'll be going to some parties. Yeah. Oh man. And China is already complaining and talking about using defensive measures against Elon's satellites. China is I don't know. I think we got to worry about China. You got a weakling in the office right now. They're taking advantage of them. And then it's just they're setting themselves up. Here's the issue with China. They have so we were oil independent, right? And then we're going to go to EV now, and we're dependent on those batteries, which all those raw materials, China has most of the rights for, right? So we're pretty much screwed. Maybe you know what would be kind of interesting? If we go to EV and find out it doesn't work very well, and we go back to gasoline cars.
Well, of course it's not going to work very well. I mean, it's just not. You can't. You're going to screw people out of their livelihood. I mean, what are you going to do with all these people that are, working minimum wage, barely making ends meet, driving a $2,000 beater? What are you going to do with them? You're going to give them a Tesla?
No, gasoline cars are never going to go away, Gerry.
Right.
What I'm saying is mainstream.
Are you going to subsidize the increased gas cost for them?
Well, gas might not go. I think the only reason why gas would go up super high is because they're trying to get people to stop driving gasoline cars. But in general, if the less demand, if like only 30% of the demand was from gasoline cars, why would gasoline be expensive? You know what I mean? I think it's more of an incentive to get people to move over to electric. So they'll just like artificially raise it $20 a gallon, you know. But you got to worry about China. If they own all the mineral rights, across this world for all the raw materials to make batteries and stuff. We're dependent on them for all these EVs. We don't want to. It's just dumb to put ourselves in a position where we're reliant on some other country, especially one like China.
And they're taking over Africa.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what about Afghanistan? We pretty much just gave them that. They wanted it for mineral rights.
Yeah.
We pretty much just gave it over. Gave it. We should have kept that. We should have kept Bagram. Palantir excels within organized companies and provides software as a solution. They have plenty of plaid-wearing Apple laptop carrying software engineers ready to build whatever app emerge. Yeah. Speak English. I don't really know what you're talking about. I mean, unorganized companies. Yeah. They're not the only game in town. Or they're not the only one. They're not. Yeah, there's more. There's other options out there than just Palantir. I love that Gerry's main purpose for a smartphone is for YouTube. Hilarious as heck, but hey, he sure looks good on YouTube.
Well, I mean, it didn't used to be this way. I used to have a shop away from home, and I used to not be home all the time. I'd go work 12, 14 hours a day. I had people call me for business and et cetera. Now nobody calls me. The literal thing is just spam likely all the way down. So
I would almost say you don't even need a phone except for trading options in a pinch. Your woman's the one that needs this because she's the one that does all the talking, the heavy lifting, right? I was just on Google Fi's website and they took the phone off that I wanted to use for the AT. I'm hoping that they release the Samsung S22 Ultra by February because I'll get that one. Because the Note, good luck trying to find a Note. $1,500 if you find one. How much do you think a Tesla phone's going to be? Does it answer itself and put itself up to your ear and all that stuff too? What do you think, Gerry?
You'd have to program it. That's the problem. In that video I was talking about, I can't imagine doing all that with the car. I mean,
like the guy's like he's getting lost in these menus and shit,
Everything is controlled on like basically an iPad. The seat position.
It was an iPad, I think.
I mean, everything is controlled through. You had to open your freaking glove compartment through the app. It's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, the thing.
There's no way in hell I can own a Tesla.
Just wait until something gets hacked. Wait till there's a solar flare or something. We're going to have to put the whole car in a Faraday cage? The whole car, the whole garage is going to be at the Faraday cage or whatever,
But you can't put it in your garage for fire danger.
That's true too. I can tell you this right now, you are sitting on a bomb. I had a little teeny battery that was this big. That was the lithium, little teeny one, this big. That thing blew up in my pocket. It sounded like I thought I got shot. You're sitting on a bomb like that. You don't just watch a couple of YouTube videos of a lithium battery. They are dangerous.
Now, if anybody's interested in the review I'm talking about, look up Curious Cars on YouTube, and his newest video is on the Tesla. And he has it in chapters, so you can just forward to the interior review. And I tell you what, watching that interior review, him going through the iPad frustrated the hell out of me. And I couldn't imagine doing it myself. I couldn't do it.
Here's the thing though. We're old school. We're Gen Xers.
That is true.
Right? I don't even want to buy a new car that's not a Tesla because it's got too much electric shit in it. Backup mirror, ass wiping tool. I just don't want any of that crap, right? I mean, yeah, we say okay, power windows, power mirrors, probably okay, right? But beyond that, I do like the keyless entry. I do like push button start. I do like those. But beyond that, I don't need a backup camera. I don't need any of this junk. It's just more stuff to break, more stuff that I gotta fork money out to fix. I'm old school. So
Absolutely.
Tesla, man, that's some
No
scary
way.
stuff right there, Jerry.
I couldn't drive the thing. I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to get out of the parking lot.
Have you ever tried to drive a Prius? I'm just curious.
No, I almost got ran over by one though.
Because I think they're not very intuitive to get those things like I had a friend of mine that rented one. We were working together, and he rented one, and I rented, like an F-150 or something. And he, he had to like call over the service people or whatever to find out how to get it to go and all that stuff. So they're not very intuitive, and let alone a freaking Tesla. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, think about that. A Prius has been around since what, mid 2000s, like 2005 or something like that was the first Prius.
I'm sure there's a Prius owner in here, like all good or something. Said, "Oh, it's easy. It's easy once you've done it once." Oh man, if IBM, Microsoft, and or Amazon would have a have a friendly interface like Palantir, that would be Amazon balls, amazing balls. Is that what he's saying? If
Yeah.
IBM, Microsoft, and Amazon would have a friendly interface like Palantir, what do you mean by what type of product are we talking about from those
Whatever
other?
Palantir does.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Isn't Google? Well, Google could come up with something overnight, I'm sure. It's like Snowflake. Snowflake, they pretty much just do cloud analytics, and Amazon and Google could do the same thing. Microsoft could do the same thing. It's not nothing special about that Snowflake. My portfolio returned 21.5 also, Dave. He beat me. Beat me, Jerry. 35% exposure to international and small cap stocks, hampered returns. It's all right. I'm still like, well, I'm talking about options, my options account. I don't even know what the rest of the stuff even returned. Exposure to international small caps. Yeah, we talked about last live stream. We talked about international. 35% exposure to we talked about it last. Why I don't invest in the international. I also have a slant towards value and dividend kings versus growth stocks. Yeah, me too. We talked about that as well. Do we get any more votes? Let's see here. Let's see. We're 85 votes, 72%. So it's come down a bit. More no's. There's more no's, Jerry. Slant towards that. Yeah, me too. I think Jerry's the same way. Earlier, I meant to say, Dave, wife distracted me, and I did not notice I typed my own name. You're so used to typing your name. I will not. What am I trying to say, Jerry? School. I will not garbage dunk people, or what's throw them in, toilets and all that. What you ever have to write stuff like that on the chalkboard, Jerry?
I will not stick my gum underneath the desk anymore or something.
Oh, that's all you did?
No,
Oh, man. I brought a whoopee cushion in one
You don't
time.
want to know what I did.
Oh yeah, you don't want to know what I did either. I brought a whoopee cushion in once. The desk that had the one that went up like that?
Oh, I love that one. Did it go in
Yeah, me
different
too.
levels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put the whoopee cushion in there, and I stuck it on top of the books that were inside the desk that went up, and I kind of just slowly put it down, and just put it's like, and nobody knew where it was coming from. The teacher's like, "What the heck is going on?" Stupid shit I did. Let's see here. One tax question, Dave. If you write your own script for help in trading, does the time spent on script? I wish. I've already done the heavy lifting, but no, it doesn't. I don't. Yeah, does time, Gerry? Can you write time off when it comes to business? I don't think you can.
I don't think you can.
I've never heard anybody be able to do that.
I don't. Well, I think. Well,
You
I
could
don't
if you were
know.
selling your
Because
time.
here's the thing: if you are educated and you have a degree in doing something of that nature, right? You are valuable, right? Otherwise, you would have to pay somebody else to do that.
Yeah, but you can't necessarily say, okay, I spent 5 hours doing this, and then just write off, well, I should be getting paid $100 an hour. It's like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's
But you
it's a little
can sell your
hairy.
time. What's that?
It's a little gray area there for sure.
And I stay away from gray areas when it comes to taxes. Last thing I want is get some audit when I'm over in some foreign country. Like they want to audit me, when I have just dividend income and return on capital, go, sure, but I'm not come back to the States. You do all that shit freaking remotely. If it goes to 17 again, I'm dropping 100 grand on it. Let's talk about Palantir.
The TQs.
The TQs. There you go. See, one good strategy is, and this could be an option too, Gerry. Just do straight Qs for options, which is going to require double the notional value. And then if you get assigned or it keeps dropping, you're down 50% in the market. You sell it, take the loss, and then put it all into TQQQ, and then write it up. And then you have a tax loss harvesting that year, and next year a big gain, and you just write it off. There you go. That's probably what I'm going to be doing anyway. You could just be fully invested in the Qs. You drop 40%, you start selling some of those off, you get into TQQQ for the ride up. That is a great strategy because you're not sitting around in cash. You're fully invested, you write it down, and then you write it up triple. It's a great strategy. Matt and I have talked about it. Brother and I have talked about it. Yes, I have to plant new pumpkins every year. Now I'm planting for next season. The giant pumpkins over 1,000 pounds will be started inside. Oh, okay. He starts them early, Gerry.
Jeez, you can get 1,000-pound pumpkin in, what is that, 6 months?
That's more than 6 months.
He's at mid-April, May.
No,
June,
he's
July,
starting them
August,
inside,
September,
Gerry.
October. That's 6 months.
No, he's starting them inside. So he's starting them early. We'll be started inside, and okay, well, I get what you're saying now.
I mean, 1,000
From April to October, basically, is what you're saying.
1,000 pounds in 6 months.
Yeah, you can sit inside there, Gerry. Wouldn't smell very good, but you can sit inside there.
Maybe put a couple of me in there.
I wouldn't go that far.
Probably not.
I don't know how big those things are inside. Regular pumpkins will be started May 1st. What do I do the rest of the year? Trade options. There you go, Gerry. It's another one of those trade options. There you go. That's who needs another job? Everyone can be bearish. Everyone can be bearish on SOXL TQQ. I'll be getting filthy rich because you're scared. There's some truth to that.
Yeah. I mean, how often do we have market crashes?
Yeah, that's the reason why we're not going as heavy into Inusi. Just for that same reason, right?
Yep.
I had to be bearish on transmission. I had to be bearish on a transmission in 2021. I won't be around in 2022. 2022-1. I'm bearish on a transmission. I don't know what do you mean by that? Do you know what he means by that, Gerry?
A C6 transmission, a 5-speed. What are you talking about?
C4?
C4?
A power glide, a turbo 400. What are we? A Tremec?
Torque plate?
Go burr like this winter. this weather. Go I don't know what he's talking about. Chucky Chill. If TQQQ's book goes back to 12, I'll buy 2 or 3 80 Delta Leaps and sit on them. And there you go. Great strategy.
That's
I'd probably be
exactly
doing
what
something
I
similar to
would
that as
do.
well.
I would probably buy the leaps instead of buying the long shares. It's cheaper. It's leveraged, right? So
I'd probably be buying more than 2 though.
yeah, I probably would. Depends on the price. Well, down at that low, it'd probably be pretty damn cheap.
I'd be buying a lot more than 2 or 3. But Chucky's in a different, situation. All that. By then, he could be a freaking billionaire. I don't know. One Dantown. Let's see here. The beta on TQQ is 3.33. The beta on TNA is 4. Spy beta. Is this a fact or is this a question?
Well,
Makes sense.
the beta should
Well,
be higher.
yeah, no, that makes complete sense. The beta SPY sets the beta. We all know that TQQQ has a higher beta because you have more, the options worth more. We all know that TNA or the Russell has got a higher beta than that. And we know that the Dow has, where is the Dow, Gerry? Is it less beta than the SPY? I actually think it might.
Not sure.
What's the Dow?
DIA.
Well, I don't know if I can look that one up. Let me see. Yeah, okay. It doesn't list the beta on it. I would almost venture to say it's less beta than the SPY
I would think so too.
because it pays less than the SPY does, and it's all blue chip big companies in there, which all are normally a pretty low beta, lower beta.
Huh.
$3,000 a month is perfect, GW. $3,000, baby. See here, not to harp on TQQ thing, but Black Swan event could wipe TQQ out. I agree with you about the circuit breakers, but who knows? COVID yeah, I just don't see it happening. The circuit breakers are going to kick in. It's never going to go down 33% in a day. And I think if it did, you better get your freaking guns out, get them locked, stocked, and loaded.
Yes, he's going to touch on that in his second comment here, and that's. I mean, if it was like I said, if it was 10 times more deadly, is the stock market going to matter?
Imagine for a second, is money going to matter, right?
Is money going to matter?
Imagine for a second if COVID was 10 times more deadly. It's not going to happen either. COVID's getting weaker. So in my opinion, no new strain's going to come out that's stronger than the original virus that came out. And I think that everyone that comes out, it's probably going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. It's probably not going to be more deadly than Delta, the next one that comes out. I don't think any new one that comes out, unless it's some new virus to begin with, because this is just a SARS. This is just a SARS, a SARS 2 or whatever is what it is. If SARS 3 comes out, it's a whole different ball game, right?
Yeah, if they release, whatever they're cooking up now, when they get it perfect and they decide to release it, then, we'll see.
Yeah. So hopefully, we need to keep Fauci out of China, and hopefully he's not. He's probably already working on it now, but they need to kick that guy out of office or whatever he's in. He's not in office. They need to kick him. He need to kick him to the curb. That guy does so much damage. What would have happened to the market? Would it have recovered the same? Who knows? But what's coming next? No, the pessimism's fine. It's because these are things that you do need to think about. But the way I look at it is if the market dropped 33% in a day, I just don't think that anything matters at that point. Money's not going to matter. That's a major devastation. You know what I mean? 33% in a day.
Yeah, you're talking, depression era type things.
Probably
at
worse.
That point. Yeah.
It's a good conversation, though.
Look up some of that. It'd be nice to, if you want to look up some of that stuff. I've watched them in the past, like the 1920s Depression era, and not just about the stock market, but just about people's lives. Very interesting stuff.
See if I can block that person. No, somebody might already got to him. I could stake out, or sorry, did I say steak?
Steak does sound good.
Did you say steak? I could sneak out, but if you get caught, you could get deported for life and end up in jail. Yeah. So you might make you your beach, make something your beach. Let's see here. My hotel. My hotel was real nice, paid for with points. Oh, so you had to pay for it?
Yeah, that's kind of pissy.
It is. They upgraded my room to a suite. The food is amazing. It's still probably cheap though. But still, like I thought they'd have to pay for it. You want me to be in here? You better pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I have to pay for this.
So what do you mean the food's included? It's included in your points or included in, for free because you got to do this?
Right. Is it included in the hotel, or is it included for the inconvenience of being quarantined?
Exactly. I could take a taxi or whatever, but the hotels report to the government, Gerry. When you arrive, I'm waiting for my test results from the lab, and then I'll receive my quarantine certificate to leave. I can't wait.
Why don't they use the 15-minute test?
The PCR?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, Gerry. Wolf, Gerry.
Oh.
No, he doesn't teach sheep. He doesn't teach sheep tendencies, Gerry. A girl snuck out this week and partied and spread Omicron. Both her and her hotel, both her and the hotel who tried to cover it up are in big trouble. Why would the hotel try to cover it up? They're not freaking. They don't care about Americans. Like, why would they try to cover it up? That's funny. That's odd. Jeez. See, that's the thing. I don't care. I'll just sit in there and trade options, Gerry. I teach credit accounting 1 and 2, the bookkeeping for non-credit. We also teach balancing a checkbook chapter. That's an old thing that nobody needs to know how to do anymore.
That's crazy that's college level though. That's interesting. Balancing a checkbook.
We learned that in high school, how to balance a checkbook. We did. So I did take a finance class in high school. My high school. We talked about stocks. We talked about stocks. We talked about balancing checkbook. We talked about all that stuff. So I know a lot of people say, "Oh, high school, why don't they teach this?" They might not anymore, but we had auto shop, we had wood shop, we had stained glass, we had, home ec, right? We learned how to cook. I don't know if any of that stuff even exists in high school anymore.
My son's school has auto shop still.
That is an important skill. That's more important than freaking learning a second language, or more important than English. More important than it's not important. I mean, history is important too, but it wasn't sure when I was in school. I hated history. I love it now, but auto shop, that's a skill. Welding, wood shop, those are skills. Those should exist in high school. They should be mandatory to graduate.
That's one thing I wish I took was auto shop if I went to school.
Yeah, I did very well in auto shop, and I love auto shop just to begin with, but we worked on a Bleebly in there too. If you don't know what a Bleebly is, that's what I call Volkswagen Beetle. Let's see here, because they sound like Bleeblies to me when they go. It's little teeny pipes. MDB, anything can happen. Nuclear war could break out tomorrow, and we'd all be dead. You can't invest like that. That's a very well thought out way to look at it. If you're so scared to invest because of some black swan event, you're not going to probably do very well in the markets. It's going to take a lot longer to get where you want to go.
If you're always, if you're always trying to avoid a loss, if that's your main goal is to avoid a loss, is it going to be debilitating to you if you get challenged? Like, what does that do to your, I don't know. I guess a certain sense of fear is healthy, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you should dump your whole net worth into that fear asset.
Right.
I mean, you have a portion over there, right? And then okay, we have black swan event, whatever. Okay, I'm going to take that out and put it to work. I mean, was 2008, Gerry, was that a black swan event? Have we even had a black swan event? 9/11 was a black swan event. That shut the market down for what, 3 days or something like that? 2-3 days?
Right.
The flash crash is not really a black swan event. That's an event, but it's not a black swan event. I don't think 2008 is a black swan event. You got Lehman Brothers and all those. You got the Enron, and you got that type of stuff that went under. But I mean, that was caused by the government, right? I mean, the government caused that. That's not a black swan event, though. It's a crash. That's a damn crash, though. So yeah, have we ever had a black swan event? Maybe going back to like before I was born and all that, the 20s and 30s and 40s, maybe, I don't know, 1906 earthquake or something. You know about that, Gerry?
I've probably read about it.
That's how Bank of America started, from the 1906 earthquake. Guy sat in the steps apparently or whatever, and down in, I think there's a Marina District in San Francisco, which is built on, it's land. It's not landfill, but it's artificial land, right? Because they filled it all in, and he gave out loans or whatever. That's how Bank of America started. I'm not trying to, for the Stephen here, I'm not trying to push fake information. Double check what I'm saying, of course, because this is what I know. It could be wrong, Always double check what I say. Gerry, everything he says is 100% truth, though. My results just came back negative. I'm getting out of this corner. Okay, we talked about that.
It just came back negative. Oh, nice.
I'm getting out of quarantine hotel. So wait, you got to sit in there while you're waiting for the test to come back, or you got to sit in there 5 days regardless, or 10 days? You only have to sit in there until the test results come back. That's the way I'm starting to understand it. You can put on hedges to guard against the black swan, or you have to bury it in backyard. Not ideal. The risk, yeah. So even I think the biggest, institutions in this world in finance and stuff, they're not even protected 100% on a black swan event. They only have on a portion for hedges, right? There is a couple ETFs that actually, is it Swan? Is that a black swan? I mean, there is some ETFs out there that have its black swan protection.
There are. We were talking about that the other day. I mean, you can just go out and you can buy some puts like Nusi does. That protects you on the downside. So it just depends on how far you want to protect yourself, and what percentage you want to dedicate to that.
You want to protect, and most people don't ever put. Most people don't protect their entire portfolio.
Right.
They put a portion of it protected. Even Chucky Chills do the same thing. He's doing it differently though. He's actually he's selling calls as a hedge. Let's see here. They have already telegraphed the rate raise, so I think it's largely priced in already. I agree. We're just talking about when it's going to happen, but I agree. The market's already anticipating it. So the only thing the market can't really anticipate is whether it's going to be 2 or 3.
Yeah, they already know it's coming, so it's not going to. I don't think it's going to. I don't even think it's going to be a shock to the system at all.
It'll be a shock.
Nah.
It'll be a shock. The reason why it's going to be a shock is because every time there's a Fed Wednesday that comes out, the market's it's all over the place.
Yeah, maybe so. But that's kind of crazy to think that a quarter point would really make a difference.
It's priced in, so I don't think it's gonna. It's just if they go sooner than anticipated, that'll shock the market. Like if they raise in January, they raise in February or something, whatever, that will shock the system probably. I hope they raise rates. It would take some of the steam out of the worthless stocks. What does it mean by that? Like the Palantirs of the world? Wait, what's another worthless stock? A Riot or something, Gerry?
GameStop.
GameStop.
AMC has kind of came down to earth a little bit. Yeah.
Probably going to zero.
It should be at least around 4 or 5.
I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going back to a movie theater.
I don't think so either.
See. What would Dave do? WWDO. WWDD. What would Dave do? Who's Dave? I'm Matt.
Where's Dave at?
Let's see here. Let me see. If he is sitting on 20K LTG long-term capital gains on options expiring on 21st January 2022, do you sell this week or wait till the end? I resist selling till clock tick 2022 to move gains. Yeah, I'm kind of the same thing with some stuff. Do you sell this week or wait? Depends on what you have on. I don't know what you got on. Depends what you have on and how far away they are from being in the money. Otherwise, I'd probably try to let them go out another week or two. That's what Dave would do. Good evening, Michael Kruger. What's going on, Freddie? Different Freddie. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stupidity will change in 2024. I hope.
I hope so. Yeah, I don't know.
If there is a big up day in the stock market where you sold a put, do you buy to close or take the profit? I sometimes do that. It just depends. Sometimes I get sometimes I don't know, Gerry. I get a stick up my butt and I just decided to take a profit. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's prudent to take one or two things off on a day like that and then wait for a down day, which likely is going to happen after a big up day, possibly. And then you put something on. It's just kind of what I've been doing, but I think Gerry does a lot of the same too.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. It depends on how much time you got left in the contract. What percentage you're up on it. I mean, if it's like hours and they just delivered you 30% profit, yeah, take that.
I take it.
Yeah.
It's a day trade, but yeah, or it can even be a swing trade that does that. Looking at the S&P 500, the SPY, it looks like we just hit that top number, 480-ish, right? Let me see, what was the 52-week high? Of course, we're not there. Let's see, 479. So we're $1 off of it. It looks, so that's the upper trend line too. Well, at least how it's drawn on FinViz. Technically, that line should be moved up a little bit higher, but it looks like it's bear flagging out. I guess we'll see what happens this week. I asked that because tomorrow will be a big day for many stocks. First day of the year. All tax selling BS is over. Actually, it's not. I'm selling. I'm selling tomorrow, Gerry. I'm selling some stuff tomorrow to move some stuff and rebalance it around because I did not want to realize gains in 2021. Very similar to what Matt Freddie was talking about above. I don't know what the market's going to do tomorrow. What the market is up, let's see. The market is up right now. Let me see. Qs are up the most. Russell's up the next. Yeah, that's just like a normal day now. 124 points in Dow is nothing now. You know what I mean? 10 years ago, like that would be a big up day, but nowadays it's just pocket change. Totally agree that they do it, and there's plenty out there. Palantir I use, it is using Amazon clouds. I agree, all those have same or better capability than Palantir. Not just yeah. I think it comes down to what's the most popular, most well known in the industry. On our tax question, answer no. By the way, if it is on an expense, then it would also be income. Is that the charging for the scripting time, Gerry? Is that what that is?
I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard anybody charge time, because otherwise people can just say, yeah, I spent 40 hours doing this. It only took you 5. How do you prove that, right? How do you prove that it took 40 hours? You can't.
What you could do is pay someone to do it.
Hell no. Why would I pay? I'm big on doing stuff myself. There's some things I'll pay to have done, but in general, I can do a better job, and I know the job's done right, and I can do it cheaper with better parts. You could probably do an LLC and pay yourself hourly. You might be able to pay yourself a fair wage under some sort of corporation like that, or LLC, or S corp, or whatever. You have to pay yourself a fair salary, Gerry. I'm a beta for Dave. Rapid test, 15 minutes is different from PCR. I had 2 friends have negative tests, rapid tests, and PCR lab results came back positive.
Then why even have the PCR? I don't get it. I don't get this whole thing. This whole thing is a mess.
It is a mess. Let me see, block this user here. Let's see if, yeah, somebody already got to that person.
I didn't mean why have the PCR. Why have the rapid test is what I meant.
Rapid test, 50 minutes is different from PCR. Well, he's let me see, negative, I have negative rapid test. Okay. What are you talking about? You want the rapid test, you can come back negative.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why have both then? If one is negative, one is positive, it's like, I think it's just all, nah, I better shut up.
It is dumb. Well, there you go. If you don't want to be restricted and stuff, get the test that comes back negative.
Yeah, I only use the 15-minute one, guys. That's my requirement here.
I don't understand why people have to wait in 6, 7, 8, 9 hour freaking lines. I don't understand it. Number one, what do they have to get the test for? That's my question, right? Are they getting it because they have to go to work and they have to get a test once a week or twice a week? Or are they just getting it for the hell of it? I don't understand. I have no reason to go get a test. I have no reason to go get one. I don't understand why there's so many people going to get a test. What is the purpose? Is it just for the hell of it? I'm lost. I mean, if I had to go get one to get on a plane, that makes sense. But these people that are sitting in 9 hours lines are all going to plane, getting on a plane, getting on a ship, Gerry. Bouncing his checkbooks is useless, but that is how you analyze any account. Cash flow, baby, in and out. It is in the cash management chapter, accounting. Yeah, no, I think it's probably a good way, an entry-level way to get people to understand, what it means to balance a checkbook, even though they'll probably never use it. But
no, I mean, I agree. It's a skill, right? It's a skill that people need to learn. But I'm just surprised that it's at the college level. I would think that this would be. I mean, I learned balancing a checkbook in elementary school.
I don't know if I did.
But I learned it on my own. I didn't. The school didn't teach me.
Yeah. We used to learn how to count and all that stuff using Fruit Loops back then. We used Fruit Loops and tricks and all that stuff, and yeah. Come to find out I ate a bunch early, but 9/11, yeah, I agree. That was probably the last true, at least in my lifetime, that I'm aware of, that was a black swan event, right?
I would say I feel like maybe Dave would disagree with me. I feel like we are more vulnerable now for a black swan event than in years past.
You said I would disagree with you?
Maybe.
No, I'm going to agree with you.
Okay.
I know I like to disagree with everybody, but no, I'm definitely, the government's getting worse and worse and worse every year. The lengths that they go to, and the Patriot Act is a good example. I think that was all an orchestrated, I think that 9/11 was all an orchestrated event to give up freedom. And whether you agree with me or not, that's fine. I mean, the thing is I can tell you this. probably with a fact that the official story they told you about 9/11 is not true. Because parts of it are, whether you're a conspiracy theorist or not, there's a lot of information they told you about 9/11 that's not true, and a lot of information about 9/11 that is true that they have not told you about. We got Patriot Act out of there. I'm trying to look at domicile in another freaking state, and Patriot Act's making it a pain in the ass. You got to give a real address, Gerry, not a PMB. PMB won't work. What do you do? How do you get away from that? You don't. This is like a square peg trying to fit in a round hole. You know what I mean? You need a real address. What if you have no friends and family? You can't use their address. What if you? How do you get address if you're living in an RV? Or you're a nomad?
Yeah.
Or you live out of the country? What do you do? You know, this is what fear does. Fear makes you give up freedom, and we're doing the same thing during COVID. By the way,
Exactly.
that's my rant for this stream anyway. What do you guys think about investing in high dividend stocks such as Verizon and T, and writing out of the money covered calls, essentially double the dividends? Andrew Johns.
I don't think you'd get double the dividend.
Well, when Randy did the video, you did.
Yeah, but yeah, the premiums on T right now, I own a couple hundred shares of T. Premiums on that sucker are horrible.
It's not something I would do for myself. I mean, if you already own the stock, then by all means, like if you can get above your cost basis, it's just free money in a way, but you're going to realize gains too if it gets called away.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You happens to go up 5% in a week or 5% in a year, which is probably likely not going to happen. Just kidding there, but go ahead, Gerry.
If it's in a retirement account, then I'd say go for it.
Just
sell out the money covered calls and whatever. But if you're in a taxable, you're probably what you're going to do, especially with Verizon and T, is you're going to have to sell so close to the money to make it worth it to you that you're going to be getting called away all the time, and then you're just setting up capital gains all the time for yourself. And if that's something that you don't mind doing, then you can do it. But it's just Verizon and T, the premiums on those things are just no good.
And they're artificially high too because they sold off all year. There's better options, right? Microsoft, Apple, for example, although it costs more money, but there's a lot more money to be made in those when it comes to options. It's just, I tried the strategy. It's a solid strategy, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of work too to be have 30 dividend stocks, that covers all 11 sectors, and then you have 100 shares at least of each, and then you're starting to sell covered calls. It's a lot of work, and it's for little money. It's easier just to let Devo do it or something like that, and then just focus on writing options in an options account. Maybe that's not the right way to look at it. I'm just a little different than some people, I think. Maybe I'm looking at it pessimistically, Gerry. 2008, we had 6 months or so of slow decline it was definitely, so 2008 was long and drawn out compared to 2020. Definitely different there. And that's the problem with having lived through 2008 and being there trading the markets. I thought for sure that this would be the same or worse. And it ended up being that if you didn't invest, you pretty much screwed yourself because the market V-shaped recovered in a matter of, just a few weeks. So take it in and learn from it, but don't think the next time is going to be the same. That's what I learned, basically.
Yeah. Everything is different.
I don't understand how the next time could recover any faster, though. Let's drop 50% and then recover in a week, Gerry.
If you do the law of probably averages, it probably won't act that way this next time.
It probably won't.
Whenever that happens to be.
Lehman's bankruptcy. Yeah. No, exactly. Lehman Brothers and all that junk. Because that was a shock right there. That was an orchestrated event, though, the whole thing. on weapons of mass destruction. Oh wait, no. So what would Dave do? Question. January 2022 options are SPY, GM, KISS, which is Kohl's, I think, Bank of America, etc. All very deep in the money. What was his little question, Gerry?
Would he take long-term capital gains now, or just let them
Oh,
run?
gotcha. He's got they're all solid positions. I'd say GM's probably the riskiest, but
Are these you've held these for over a year?
did you do leaps, Gerry? I'm sorry. Did you leaps, Matt? Leap? Did you leap that? Or is he
And did
talking
you
about
are these puts, calls? What are they? You bought them, sold them?
they're deep in the money?
Interesting.
You see, I had to scroll way up to find where he said that. Okay, here it is. Long term, so it's definitely a year. Yeah, it must have been leap, Gerry. Doesn't say whether
Interesting.
they're calls though or puts. Can we decipher that from what he said? They're in the money. No, they have to be calls because they're all those stocks are up. So, but he said deep in
All
the money.
very
So
deep
yeah,
in the
I guess they
money.
could be call. I guess they could be puts too.
Oh, he put it down there. These are leap calls.
Okay, there you go. Yes, leap
Um,
or leap calls.
January. I mean, if they're very deep in the money, I'd probably just let them run.
Jerry's walking all over me. My January 20. Yeah. Just let them run at this point. You're going to have to get realized at some point anyway. I mean, the rubber's going to meet the road at one point or another. So I don't think that any of those are going to. I mean, I don't know how far you have to go down to be out of the money, but they were giving out free tests at airport after getting off plane.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Go back. Now, he's like very, very big profits, $20,000, right? So I think what he's alluding to is if, he's probably got January 21st, right? So he's got 3 weeks. What if the market crashes in 3 weeks?
I don't know. Are we talking about capital gains in the options or capital gains in the stocks?
I would say the options, the leap calls.
Because if they get called away, he's going to get realized on the actual underlying position.
Oh yeah, that's.
Are
Oh, are these
they're covered?
naked?
They're covered calls, right? You said
No, I
it.
don't think so. They're leap calls
Oh,
bought in March of 2020.
no,
He bought
that's
them,
different.
so it's not covered.
It's not covered. So he bought calls.
So he's sitting on profits, and if the market were to drop, it would eat away some of his profits. So would you take the profits now or risk 3 weeks of the market falling?
Oh, I would take them now.
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
I would too.
Now that we understand your situation, just
Yeah.
took 1.5 brains to figure it out. But yeah, no, I'd take it on Monday. Why? You're up. Don't get greedy. What's it? Who said it? Somebody said it on CNBC last week or whatever. There's two types of people in the market, Gerry. Ones that have been humbled, the ones just about be humbled. Ones that have been humbled, and the ones that are that are going to be humbled. I don't know what the heck. I screw everything up. They were giving out free tests. Yeah, okay. Free tests. They're all free anyway. What's the use if they're free if they're not accurate?
Yeah, they're not accurate for one, and who's making the money on them because they're not free.
That's true. Nothing's free. Nothing's free.
Somebody's making the money on them.
Somebody's paying for it. Somebody's making something, but somebody's paying for it too. And I can guarantee you it's probably us that are paying for those tests, at least in this country. Going to a strategy of high cap company put credit spreads. Okay. Have been a ton of luck. Okay, put credit spreads. All right. Easy gains, and yeah, it's not my strategy. It's just you're normally too aggressive to make any good money. Too aggressive for me anyway. And I don't like the Jerry's gonna agree. We don't like the guaranteed loss if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, you just lose this much if it doesn't work out. I'm like, I don't want to lose. I'd rather roll it. I mean, I don't know.
You can roll it
You can
too,
roll
but
a credit spread, but it's just a little.
it's a defined risk.
Yeah.
You can make some good money with those for sure. Definitely with Amazon, Google.
I've done them. I've done them on Tesla a lot. Not a lot, but when my
Tesla's a
account
good
was
one to do it
smaller,
on.
I'd do some spreads down there.
Tesla, Google, Amazon, Shopify, CMG, all those big company or big stock price companies, you can go so far down. Yeah, you can throw a credit spread on too, and but you can go so far down that you don't have to worry about it. Like you dare Amazon, are you going to go down 30%? Amazon, probably not. Without the black swan event, yes, these are leap calls. Okay, yeah. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. 2020 will be a totally pick the right stocks up or down. The indexes will be up. This year, the Qs was up big, but many stocks were down big. There's definitely some interesting stuff going under the underlying indexes. With the S&P 500, there's a lot of rotation going around where like some of the biggest stocks in the S&P 500 is what the reason why it was up, but a lot of the smaller stocks is the reason why it was down, or not down, but a lot of rotation going on. That could actually propel the market, Jerry, this year.
True.
There's a lot of stocks that are still undervalued, but yet we still think we're up 30%. But guess what? Only a small fraction of the companies is the reason why we're up, right?
Well, yeah, and like to your point, you were talking about Amazon. I mean, what did that contribute to the market, right? Hardly nothing.
Nothing.
So, and that's one of the biggest companies in America. So, yeah, it could be a ride up the mountain here.
Amazon contributed 2.3%, Jerry.
Yeah, that's nothing for that kind of a
That's
company,
nothing.
and for as much demand that was placed on that company in the past year.
Yeah, they got more out of Ford. They got more out of Ford, which actually I don't even think is that. I don't even know if that's in the S&P 500. Is it?
It should be. It's
Is
not.
it? I don't know. They take companies out that you think should be in there. Like Tesla replaced, what was it, ExxonMobil or something?
Or oh man, how do you figure that one out?
It's not easy to figure it out. 82 billion. Yeah. I mean, Tesla replaced a company that you think should be in there. You know what I mean?
As of September, it's in the S&P 500. It says,
September what? 2021?
yeah,
So back when it was worth $4, it wasn't.
yeah.
It's
I'm
too
not
small
sure.
market
It
cap.
might not have been actually. Yeah,
Well, did they kick somebody out to put Ford in there then?
yeah. I haven't catched up with the news with the rotations, but
So yeah, Ford 136% in 2021, Jerry.
that's insane.
Destroyed Tesla. So that to Gary's point, that could definitely fuel the market in 2022. A lot of stocks are undervalued. There's still value stocks out there. Let me see. I think one of them, let me see here. Not that one. AT&T is a good example. Verizon is a good example. KMB is a good example. Right? What other some other good ones? KMB has recovered a little bit, but
There's a lot that have recovered. What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about that with the hotel stuff. It's like, holy crap, how did those recover so much?
some of them haven't though.
Yeah, some of them haven't, but it's amazing that some of them actually have.
Disney's a good example.
Disney,
That one
yeah.
hasn't. That's a big, well-known market cap stock that didn't do shit in 2021. It's down 14%. That's another stock right there. That could come roaring back at some point if Pelosi will let them. Long-term capital gains. Yep. Just somebody asked what the LGTC is. Not LBGT, but LGTC, whatever the heck it was. Long LT. Yeah, capital gains. I appreciate your insights, and we'll start dwindling down. Yeah, I think it's smart at this point. Lock in the gain. Don't be greedy, especially because it's just starting out. You know, we had a great year last year. The market owes us nothing this year, really. Dave, you agreed with me. I am so startled. I'm going to sleep. When do I ever disagree with Gerry?
Never.
I'm on East Coast. Yeah, but we're gonna pretty much call it quits here anyway. We're going to go in for 2 hours and 15 minutes. We're down at the bottom. We got LBGQ plus. And there's probably some other stuff you need to put on there. But
he jacked
good night,
up.
Gerry. What's that?
He jacked that up right there. You're canceled now. You forgot the plus.
You're woke. You're anti-woke. We appreciate everybody joining. We're gonna switch it up in a week or two. We're gonna have Gerry run it. Because he's kind of a co-host now. So I'm gonna have Gerry run one. I'll be the one that sounds smart going forward, at least one. And then that way Gerry can kind of get used to running the software and all that stuff before he takes over the stream. And then maybe what I'll probably do, we haven't really talked about this before, but maybe what I'll do is the very first stream that you do on your channel, maybe I'll be on there as a co-host or something, just to get you warmed up or whatever.
Sounds good.
Fair enough.
Fair enough for me.
Disney may be good for Leaps. Good night, guys. Cheers. All thanks. A grateful man. You're still up. All right. Sweet. Thanks for everybody for joining us. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you next week. Gerry, you want to sign out?
Yeah, here's to a good 2022.
2022. Happy New Year, y'all.